I need this stuff. Coffee. Well, today we're gonna be changing the serpentine, and I already replaced the Idler Pulleys last night. I got the top one, which is the small one, and then I got a bigger one, which is directly down at 6 o'clock from it, and that is a little bit bigger one. These are the old ones, so that's the small one, and that's the big one. I got these at AutoZone. One of the numbers is 231133, and the other one is 231161. So one smaller than the other. But I'm gonna go ahead and take this belt out because last night for some reason I couldn't get it on, as if it was too short. So again, I'm gonna measure it up out of the car, and that is the new one. It seems like these two are the same length, and then this one is 105K6 105K6 BZ 6PK2555. Alright, like I said, there's two pulleys, and then there's a tensioner right in the middle. If you guys can see that one that is right there, that is your tensioner pulley. Then you have this top one, which is the top pulley, and then the lower one, which is the bigger one, is the bottom pulley. That's the bigger one in between the alternator, the crank, and the AC compressor. So yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and put that on. I'll leave a picture of how the belt goes on to the motor in the top right screen of the video right now, so you guys can see how I'm about to go ahead and accomplish this. You guys can see I don't have my splash shield, but yeah, I think my ordeal, my problem is the AC compressor pulley. I think it might be making noise, so that's why I'm replacing the pulleys, because I've been hearing some pulley noise at idle. It'd be shaking around, and then when I came over here, I cracked the hood and looked down there. I could see the belt moving back and forth, like side to side. So I was like, alright, something's wrong. And last night when I pulled it off, I seen that, heard that, which isn't good. Alright guys, here's a reasoning why I hate living in New England and having cars here in New England. Because if you guys can see this, that's one of my grounds. Now, all I did was took one of my 10 millimeters, went down there, crack, and it just broke right off. You know why? Because of this shitty weather we have up here and the salt. Alright, I decided to take off this crash sensor, and that's a good area to put a ground, and it reaches. Hopefully you guys can see that. Alright, it's gonna move the harness a little bit out of the way also, and that way you can actually get your 16 millimeter on that tension a little bit easier. See how the harness is in the way? Normally that bolt would be in the way, so luckily that bolt broke off. It is a pain in the ass that ground is in the way, so maybe moving it right there, but I gotta take a Dremel to the wall right there. That way I can go ahead and have a solid ground. I also gotta clean up that ground terminal. both sides. I have the Serpentine Belt 98% on, if you guys can see, hopefully. I have the 16mm wrench on the tensioner, and I have 3 wrenches put together so it can hold. That way I can go ahead and make sure the belt is on straight on all 3 pulleys, the tensioner and the 2 pulleys, and then obviously you have the other pulleys on the serpentine area all grooved, so it should all line up. And if not, go ahead and just reach, make sure everything is in its grooved area. You can see right there. Hopefully you guys can see that, but sits nice and flush, doesn't move, and there's a little bit of slack on there. But what I'm gonna do is take a socket and I'm gonna rotate the crank just a little bit. That way I can rotate it and it'll slip on. I actually want to show you guys what I'm talking about. So I have a Craftsman 22mm 1/2" drive with this ratchet, which is a flippable. You guys can see I have 1/2" and I have 3/8, and pretty much I still have that thing hooked up, and I rotated just a little bit and you can see it already caught on. I just had to rotate it a little bit more. I'm going clockwise, all right? So basically it's gonna make the crank turn clockwise, and it's also gonna make the water pump rotate clockwise, and then it's gonna go to the pulley. The pulley is gonna turn counterclockwise, and then it's gonna go up to the power steering, and that's gonna turn it clockwise. So that's why I'm turning this clockwise, because if I did it counterclockwise, yeah, the belt would fall off. So let me go ahead and get to that. Just make sure this is secure and it's not gonna fall off, because that has a nut underneath, and the nut obviously is not round, it's octagon shape, I guess you could say, right? So let me get to turning this a little bit real quick. There we go. Just one more rotation, you know, to see if it definitely popped on. And look at that, you guys. Perfect. But you can see under here, the belt isn't fully on, but I still have the tension on the tensioner. Now, all I'm gonna do is take my breaker bar, try to get it in the middle. I could have probably done that with my hand. It was that easy. I wasn't sure how hard it was gonna be, but just make sure everything is centered, especially the tensioner, the bottom pulley, the top pulley, and then obviously it probably wouldn't slip on if it wasn't in the grooves, because I had some issues, but it seems to be on there perfectly. Go ahead and remove the 22, and now we can go ahead and remove these. So I'm going to remove the 10, and then the 15, now the 16. And if you guys want to know how I did that, basically just like this, interlock them, and that gives you more length, especially down here. It can help you reach and get that much more extension. But they do have like a serpentine belt kit that I think Advanced and AutoZone has, but I'd rather do that. I just finished up. I had to put the sensor sideways, and the ground I ended up putting sideways also, so it wasn't gonna rub off of the area with the radiator support is welded, well, tack welded, whatever, however it's mounted, onto the frame rail. So I know that's not gonna move, and that's all grounded, which is probably a lot better than that area down there. And it also opened up the area. One day I'll go ahead and take my Dremel and probably grind that down flush, and then also, you know, repaint it. That way it doesn't rust. But you can see even my bolts that I cleaned up when I rebuilt my motor. Well, the bottom end I had rebuilt, and then the top end was complete valve job. Valve seals were replaced with Daryl Cox shitty gasket set, I guess. And his intake manifold gasket, that ended up expanding. So I've been fighting with my intake manifold that I purchased from DCR, and pretty much I've been having nothing but an issue where the orange gasket would pop out, and I couldn't go ahead and seat my intake manifold up to my intake portion of my cylinder head. Now, I found out the reason to why. It's because DCR intake manifold is a lot bigger than the OEM intake manifold gasket. I kept the green intake manifold gasket because of the fact that I always keep my gaskets just so I can line them up to the new one, aftermarket, whatnot. And I just wanted to point this out to you guys, so beware if you guys go ahead and purchase DCR Caliber SRT4 upgraded cylinder head gasket set. Beware. And his valve cover gasket ended up pulling off and cracking. Other than that, that's done, you guys. That's all done. It's finally done. Now I hope I don't have that squealing going on, but I'm not gonna go ahead and start it right now because I have the car taken apart. But I will in a little while, and I'll give you guys a quick glimpse at the end screen so you guys can see it idling, and if it's squealing and doing its thing still, it's probably the AC compressor down there. So I'm gonna go ahead and start my bad Larry up, my bad Bish. Let's go ahead and see if she starts. I do that so the fuel pump goes on and off and it tricks it. Alright, prime number 2. She idles high for a few seconds, but gets down there. So you guys can hear that noise? Sounds like it's coming from that pulley right there. That's what I thought. I really thought it was coming from one of the pulleys, but it's not coming from one of the idle pulleys. It's coming from the AC condenser pulley. So if you guys have ever replaced the pulley on the condenser, let me know. Leave it in the comments below. I'm gonna go take it for a test drive and see how it drives and whatnot. So yeah, there she is. There's my dirty girl. There's my dirty girl, and my other one's over there. She's about to take a pee. I definitely gotta get this thing cleaned up. Hopefully you guys liked it. If you did, smash the like button like usual. Leave a comment down below, and until next time, guys, be easy and stay tuned. Peace.